You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
And it is for the WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
Ladies and gentlemen, today on the podcast, as young ladies, many of you would know from followers of Wild Women of Wrestling would know from that nationally syndicated program, and right now online with Wild Superheroes on the various social media networks. She was one of the new roster additions to that returning product in 2013 and was part of a team known as the Bully Busters, and also runs Team Bully Busters, which I'm sure we will all be discussing momentarily. My guest today is Miss Keta Rush. Am I saying that right?
No, it's Keta Rush.
See, all right, we started off the interview. She busted me right there, Keta Rush. But I'm not a bully. I'm not a bully.
Okay. Then I won't have to fuss you.
Oh, thank you. And I do appreciate it. We appreciate your time coming in and talking with the Women's Pro Wrestling Network and the rights and wrongs of Pro Wrestling Radio Show. But we're going to be doing more than just the wrestling here because, as I understand it, you are a well-versed and diverse young lady. Got your hands in a lot of different things. So let's start at the top here.
Okay.
I went through and saw Team Bully Buster on your Facebook page. So let's quick plug for that. You can follow that at Team Bully Buster on Facebook and Twitter, and it is your organization to do exactly that, help bust bullying in this growing monstrous incarnation as it is today. Would you talk about that for a second?
Okay. I started the company when I was having a interesting time coming up with a character when I got cast on Wild Women of Wrestling. Mm-hmm. And they loved me. They loved my physical abilities. They loved my look, but they didn't know what character to give me. So I reached out to my dad, who is a professional in marketing, and he, asked me like what some questions that were important to me, like what do I want to do if this translates for the rest of my life, being on this television show, like what message would I love to share and spread. And so I sent him a couple words and thoughts of mine, and he came up with the name The Bully Buster, and I was like, oh my God, I love it. So I went back to the producers and I told them the name, and they loved it. But then in wrestling, you have to kind of have like a first and a last name. So then, because I ran track my whole life and I'm very fast in the ring, they were like, let's name you Keta Rush, The Bully Buster. And I was like, oh, I love it. That's perfect. That's actually how the whole name came up. And then with that, I just took it and I kept running with it. And I was like, I really want to make a difference in people's lives. I unfortunately suffered from a horrible experience getting bullied my first year in high school. And the end result was I got beat up really, really bad. They broke my jaw, my shoulder blades, my ribs. Yeah, my pancreas, my liver were bruised severely. Like I still take enzymes to digest properly. And it, I want to say, ruined my life for a good point of my life because I suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder, and it was just something that I kind of repressed and I never spoke about until I was getting ready for a role, and the character had a very diverse background, and she suffered a lot. She was pregnant and also a crackhead, which is the furthest thing from how I grew up. And the director was helping me get ready for the role and dig to a deeper place. And he was like, have you ever been abused? Have you ever been molested? Have you ever been raped? And I was like, no. And then he's like, have you ever suffered something super traumatic? And I was like, not really. And then I was like, oh my gosh, actually, yes. It's just something I never talk about. And so I told him the story, and he was like, wow, I would have never thought you would have gone through something like that, because you are so full of life and so happy, and you've just got a great spirit. Like, you really need to do something with that story. So I just started to pray about it. And I kept praying and praying and praying, and then it came to my spirit to start a company where I can actually make a difference in kids' lives that are getting bullied, and then hopefully inspire the nation and world to end bullying. So I came up with a curriculum, and we've tested it and implemented it in many schools across Los Angeles, and the program is amazing, and it just makes me so happy to talk about it and to know that we're changing so many lives one school at a time is tremendous. Like, some schools have even designated a certain day of the week to be Team Bully Buster Day, and the kids can wear their shirts and their hats and their hoodies, and it's really exciting. So that's what I do now.
That's
all
incredible.
Inspired by getting cast on WOW Women of Wrestling.
So WOW Women of Wrestling did added a little bit more to your growing persona. We can't
100%.
So we can't call Keta Rush a character, because it seems like it's not a gimmick with you.
Right. It really is me. Like, I live and walk as the Bully Buster. Like, I really do. I mean, it's implemented in my everyday walk.
Except you don't go around in the gold outfit, I'm assuming, with the K on it.
No. I save that for taping.
Oh, okay. Although that would be cool, that
would be really cool.
I don't know if that's gimmick infringement, if you can actually show up at a school like that, but
Yeah, no, probably not. I'd rather just keep it low key.
Okay. All right. Well, needless to say, the WOW promotion did seemingly have some influence, major influence. And how did you come across that to begin with?
It's kind of a funny story. So I actually never wrestled or fought or any type of like contact sport. I did gymnastics, track, and basketball. And I was very, very athletic. I mean, I've been playing sports my whole life. And then I started acting. And I had an audition that was pretty much like looking for a superhero. And I was like, oh, I am a superhero. I saved dogs. I've saved humans. I've saved cats and birds. And like, I am a superhero. So I thought it was kind of like the show Heroes. And when I went in, it was like at a big studio, and there was a ring, and there were these girls in there, kind of like, for me, I mean, I'm tiny. I'm 5'3", and I weigh like 115 pounds. So when I think like wrestler, I think of China, and that's scary to me. So when I walked in, I was like, oh, hell no. Absolutely not. I had no idea that this is what this is. I've never done this in my life. I'm not interested. Thank you. And so David McLean, the executive producer, saw me, and I was like, on my way out, and he was like, why are you leaving? And I was like, oh, I totally thought this was for like a television show. And he's like, it is a show. And I was like, no, but like, I don't do that. Like, I thought it was to act. And he's like, well, why don't you just stay and watch the other girls, and then like we can talk after. And I was like, all right. I mean, I guess I'm here. It could be interesting. So I watched, and I was like, yeah, no, these women are getting thrown around. Like, no. And so not until the last girl went in the ring to kind of demonstrate what we would be doing as the auditioners at, a later point, it was Lana Starr. And she's super petite, skinny little white girl. She jumps in the ring and does all these crazy things, and she's also tiny. So I was like, oh, wait a minute.
If she can do it.
I can do this. Exactly. So I was like, wait, that's really cool. Like, I'm so impressed. She picked up a girl that was like twice her size and threw her around, and I was like, oh, okay, clearly there's some technique to this, whatever. So I stayed, and I took on the waiver, and I sent it to my dad. I was like, oh my God, am I going to die? Like, what is this? So he made some adjustments, and then I went back, and I started training, and it was like a 3-month kind of like process of elimination type of audition. Like, everyone was welcomed, and then little by little, more people just kept getting eliminated. And I made it to the final round, and I made it to the first show. And that's when the conflict of, like, but what's your character going to be? And I was like, oh, man, I don't know. I thought you guys had all that planned out. And they were like, well, you know, typically kind of easy when you have a look. Like, for instance, the girl with red hair, her name's Fire, and that's her superpower. And they're like, you know, I'm mixed. I'm half black. I'm half Guatemalan. So I kind of look ethnically ambiguous, and they're like, we don't know. Do we make you like Keta the cheetah? And I was like, no. no, I'm not. And they've already had a jungle girl, and so then I was like, okay. And that's when Team Bully Buster, or that's when the Bully Buster came about, and then I was named Keta Rush, the Bully Buster.
And you were part of a tag team, is that correct? I mean, you know, that
yeah.
Little footage
I was
around with that.
Totally, yeah, I was. And then the next season I won't be. I get to finally just be Keta the Bully Buster, so that's really exciting. But that was really fun as well.
How to see your partner?
Nothing. She'll probably still be there, but I think just because I kind of took the whole bullying thing and ran with it, I'm kind of just the face of that element, so...
Okay.
You know, as far as like when people interview her and that's her story, maybe it doesn't really hit home the way mine does. So they decided that I'll just be single, which is still cool.
I got you. So for the people out there listening right now, I meant to say spoiler alert because we just unveiled a little bit about the show, but that's okay. You can still look at the upcoming clips and episodes.
Totally. Yeah.
I've spoken with the individuals on the social media front of Wild Superheroes, and from what I understand, the season 2 version of it, the one that you're part of, should be beginning at the end of March.
I know. I'm so excited.
So, a lot of people are, because I could imagine, I don't know if you've answered a lot of these, but I know every person that I've talked to so far that's been a part of WoW has heard basically the same question repeatedly. When is it coming? When is it going to come on TV?
Right.
To the show. It's been rephrased a number of different ways, but it's basically the same question.
Exactly.
So, is there any enlightenment that you would have for the fan base out there, beyond the fact that it is supposed to be coming on, I think, the YouTube channel and the Facebook channel? Are you going back into another season of tapings?
Yes, absolutely. We are, and then I'll also be doing like a lot of press. I think the main goal right now is to develop a following and get on the map. So they're trying to do that social media-wise first with the YouTube channel, and that way networks will be more open to, you know, airing it because it's already got such a huge following. So I think that's their goal initially, what they're going to do now.
Now, earlier in this interview, I said that the Bully Buster thing is not a gimmick, and I want to stress that to the people that's listening, because we do have kind of a mixed listenership. Though there are those that do love and enjoy the WoW product. There are others that are a bit skeptical because most of the ladies have not gone on to, say, the independent wrestling circuit and then worked their way into it. But you, as I understand, are no stranger to physicality now, because
Correct.
You have a mixed martial arts background also.
Yes, I am highly involved in Jiujitsu. I'm a Jiujitsu practitioner and competitor, and I also do Muay Thai, kickboxing, and it's something that literally is part of my everyday walk. I train so hard, 6 days a week, and love it and compete. I just won Gracie Nationals. I wiped my whole division with the same finish, with the same submission, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm out there killing.
So, all right, so you do the mixed martial arts. Clearly, you just said it's part of your daily walk, and you are going back into another taping of another season worth of wrestling.
Yes.
I mean, that's got to be a fairly grueling situation, because wrestling alone is a pretty grueling thing. The ring is not soft.
Right. The ropes are not soft.
The ropes aren't soft either. You know, and I haven't even run the ropes. I've put the ring together with some people before, and I saw the materials like, this is not no trampoline. This is plywood in there.
No, it hurts. I remember when I first started training that first month, it looked like I got hit by a car on my back and on like my lower back from hitting the ropes. Your body, but the weirdest thing is like your body adjusts to it and then it really doesn't hurt anymore. But the first time they were like, okay, run. I was like, oh my God, this is not cool. But, you know, it's inspiring seeing that other people do it so easy because they were used to it. So just like anything, your body adapts and adjusts. And, you know, I'm so grateful for even that wrestling experience and getting cast on the show and the training because I never really realized how much I suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder. It just was a part of my life. And one of the issues that I had because I got beat up so bad was being near people. Like people, I call them space invaders. Like if I was at the market or Trader Joe's and someone's standing behind me, my heart starts racing, my body gets cold. Like I literally feel like a complete flash in my body, and it's the most uncomfortable feeling, like major anxiety with people in close quarters to me. Elevators, I'm like, I will take the stairs, doesn't matter, it's 18. Like to be in close quarters with people that are right next to me was just something that really freaked me out. So I think it was a total blessing in so many ways being a part of the cast, and like all those fears completely went out the door because you've got a person that's all over you, like slipping you, touching you, pushing you, you know, like hitting you, all kinds of things. And that completely broke the fear that I had for so long, and it opened the doors to so many other things. I then started booking commercials to wrestle and a Gatorade commercial and like all kinds of really great things, which then sparked my interest in an audition I had for Jiu-Jitsu, and they were doing like a grappling show. And once I started training for that, I was like, man, I love this. And it was even more uncomfortable than wrestling, but I knew it was good for me. I knew it was good. I knew it was something that could only make me better in so many ways. And with that, I mean, now I've got amazing friends and such great bonds with the schools, and the 10th Planet system is just a really, really amazing thing. Like the camaraderie between everybody is so supportive, and I now have lifelong friends that I train with and that I brought into the company, Team Bully Buster. And so I literally attribute all that to being cast on this show called Wow Women of Wrestling, because it was something that I'd never done in my life.
Well, thank you, David McLean.
Thank you, David.
There you go. Now, which one are you more likely to pursue in your mind? You got a path in MMA and you got a path in pro wrestling.
I would say, I don't know. I mean, I love both so much. So either one, like if I succeed in one more than the other, I mean, that's what I'll go with. But they're both so fun to me. Like I absolutely love grappling. It's the best feeling. It just feels great, and it helps you feel strong inside. And same with pro wrestling. I mean, it's so fun. Like it's so fun. I get to act. I'm being athletic. I get to, you know, make friends. I get to travel and meet fans, and both are just such beautiful things in my life. So I don't know, whichever one I succeeded in more, we'll go with that one.
Okay. Now, you are probably in a handful of athletes that have gone dual sport with that. I think Bobby Lashley and King Mo are the only other ones that I can think of off the top of my head that
right.
would be MMA/pro wrestlers. When WoW returns, being that you are basically in that same category, will there be any adjustment to your knowledge? Or would you want any adjustment to your presentation, to your character, how you work in the ring, whatever the case may be?
Everything, yeah. I'm so excited about that too, because, you know, when I first started, clearly they're not going to give me, you know, crazy things to do, and also I was insecure a bit because, you know, being close to someone is a little weird to me. But now that fear is completely gone, I'm so excited for what I'm going to bring to the ring. Like, I'm always researching really dope moves and cool things and things that I want to learn once we get back to training. But yeah, my character will be completely evolved, like to some other level. Like there's levels to it, and I can't wait to be at the highest level.
All right. Well, that's another note for Mr. McLean and the production staff of Wild Women of Wrestling that Ms. Rush may have a different layer to her persona once she returns to action in front of the television screens there.
Amen.
Well, I mean, nice. I'm thinking that you might start to wear some different gear, but as I think about that, that might be infringing on somebody else's gimmick a little bit. I think the Tatovic, the gamer, has that kind of kickboxing type vibe.
Right. Nah, mine will be more, she can keep that. Mine will be way more, more stunt stuff, like more Jiujitsu involved. I can't really explain it, but it'll be bigger and better. I'm excited about it.
It is something definitely for the fans and followers to keep their eyes open for. And I'm sure that if nothing else, they want to see the season that was already taped. Yes, the only access that has been granted so far has basically been bootleg video, people that were out in the audience with their cell phone cameras and recorded like little bits and pieces of matches and things like that. So I know personally there are several people that have been quite excited about the perspective of being able to see all of you, the entire roster, get down and dirty in the mat.
I know. I'm so excited too.
But how are you going to manage? You got Team Bully Buster that you deal with. You got the mixed martial arts. You got the acting thing going on. I mean, that's 4 different full-time gigs that you are juggling.
I know. Well, the best part about it is when you're the CEO of your own company, you don't have to answer to anyone else. So I can make my own schedule and schedule schools accordingly. And then also with training, I mean, either way, whether I'm in the ring training or I'm on the mats training, I'm training, so I'm happy. And as long as I'm happy, we're good.
Very good. Okay. I know now I'm going to peel back the layer just a little bit here, and I'm going to just go ahead and say spoiler in case you do decide to answer this question. Nobody has seen anything from WoW. And the only thing that we're really aware of is that you were a part of a tag team known as the Bully Busters.
Right.
In your estimation, if there is one singular match throughout season 2 that you would say, okay, when that match comes on with me in it, you need to watch it. Can you point that match out?
Yeah, the match with Team Bully Busters versus Cage Heat is a really, really good match. It was so fun.
And you said that without any hesitation.
Not at all. Like, I love their characters, and I love our characters, and it's like the polar opposite of the spectrum, like the really, really bad guys, like the super bullies, and then there's us, the Bully Busters, and it's just exciting. It was a really, really, really good show. So I trust that the fans are going to absolutely love it.
All right, fair enough. Any plans, to the best of your knowledge, for them to return to a pay-per-view status?
Yeah, absolutely. I know all of those things are in the works, and I know that because it's greenlit, I mean, they're working super fast on everything. I just don't have dates and times, but I know, like, my costume is getting remade right now, and they're doing a whole shoot about that, and, you know, little by little we're adding more to it, but yes, I know it will definitely be on pay-per-view again.
Awesome. I need to make my way out to Vegas so I can be there live and watch.
I'll be there next week.
Oh, all right. I won't ask you to spill any beans about why you're out there.
Okay.
You know, got to leave something to the imagination of the fans.
Right.
And let me replug Team Bully Buster here, because that is the real deal. That is why, you know, people need to stop by your Team Bully Buster Facebook page, and they can
the website as well, which is teambullybuster.org.
Okay, there you go, teambullybuster.org.
And if you have any questions about it as well, you can email me at info@teambullybuster.org, and I would love to respond and answer any questions. And, you know, we're always looking for volunteers and for people to help out, and also school suggestions. So if you'd like to be a part of it, please feel free. Visit the website. You can contact me through there, or you could just email me directly.
Well, we will certainly make sure that we put it up on our Facebook page as well, on the Women's Pro Wrestling Network. And
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, because that is a big deal. And let me say this to whomever's out there, especially if you're a kid, everybody gets it. Everybody,
yeah.
It doesn't seem like everybody gets it, but everybody gets it.
It's an unfortunate common bond between humanity.
It is, and unfortunately now it is elevated because social media makes it kind of impossible for you to get away from it.
Right.
Just record it. Yeah, if it happens, somebody's out there recording it, and then it lives on in infamy. So, it's not a singular thing. You're not alone. It even happened to me, So,
right.
But I guess the real key is how we've found our ways to kind of get around it and get through it. I mean, I've kind of fell into the comedian role, although I'm not a comedian. I found that my way to be able to get around that was to turn the tables, sociologically and with the humor and
100%.
jab. So it worked for me. It might not work for you, but you got to find your way. I just want to put that out.
It's interesting that you say that, because even in the curriculum that I developed, we go over how to identify that it's happening. And then the most important thing is how to diffuse it. And we give the students so many different tools on how to diffuse a situation. And then, of course, if worse comes to worse, we also teach self-defense and have a huge impact on athleticism and being able to defend yourself. So those are the three major components: is identifying it, diffusing it, and then if worse comes to worse, how to defend yourself. But the diffusion is such an important part, because had I known the things that I'm teaching now, I really think things would have been different for me. But, clearly this was my destiny, and now I get to travel and change people's lives and be an inspiration, which is something that I've always wanted to do, especially as an actress. That was my goal, and now I get to do it on just a different platform. So, it's my destiny, and I love it.
Well, this is good, and I can tell you now, we all say that. If I knew then what I knew now,
I know.
How many times I've said that. So, yeah.
But it's tools, and I get to share it, and hopefully, make a difference. And I know that there have been schools that also wrote to us that said that they've never had such togetherness and peace since Team Bully Buster left their school and put on the assembly that we do. Because I can't even explain it. It's literally it's a very interactive extravaganza with the students. It's so much fun. They leave so empowered, wanting to just be friends and be cool. And that's the goal, every time, is I hope the message is there that we can all just celebrate our differences. We don't have to be mean because people are different.
That's right. And don't take out the stuff that you're going through at home on somebody that don't deserve it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's another thing. We don't single out the bullies as bad guys, because they're just normal people too, who've just gone through something on their own end, and it's, coming out in a different form, and that's what we try to help as well.
It is. And I will sidebar for just a second, and everybody out there listening, just bear with me. If you're aware of the comedic pair, Key and Peele, I find that there's a lot of truth that gets locked into humor. They did a skit that was just about that, where the bully, in a very straightforward way in the skit, is telling him everything that's wrong in his life, but he's sounding threatening as he's doing it. And of course, I'm not doing this skit any justice. You have to look it up. It is funny, but very true and somewhat heartbreaking at the same time. So, there's truth out there in that. Sometimes it's a lot of issues at home.
I can't wait to go YouTube that.
I will send it to you.
Oh, cool! Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you'll get something out. I'm sure you'll be able to appreciate it, if nothing else. I'm sure.
Okay. And follow us on Instagram too, Team Bully Buster.
Yes, look, you all over the place. Facebook, the website, Twitter, and Instagram. Team Bully Buster.
Yeah.
Cover it all. And before I forget, I'm sure there's footage of these seminars and things that you do. So I would suggest to those, if nothing else, go to the website, go to the Facebook, go to the Instagram, just so you can be able to watch that. And you can see exactly what she does. We've reached the point in the interview for random questions. This is the time where I do exactly this. They are random questions out of the blue that I've thought up before this interview began. So here we go. 5 of them.
Okay.
Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or non-gamer?
One more time?
Xbox One, PlayStation 4, or non-gamer?
Non-gamer.
Oh. She's let down a couple of guys right there.
I'm so sorry. When would I find the time? The last thing I want to do is anything when I get home. My body hurts and I just want to lay.
Well, that goes into the next one, and this one you're going to have to make a choice: MMA or wrestling.
Oh shit! To watch or to get active in?
Okay, well we'll double it up. To watch.
MMA.
To be active in.
Pro wrestling.
Okay. See, now you split it, so you save face.
Okay.
Favorite all-time cartoons?
Oh, I love the Smurfs and Rainbow Bright.
Well, now that's a real blast from the past there. Look at that.
Oh, God, I hope that didn't age me.
No, oh, stop.
Probably just a little. I'm okay with it.
No, tell people that you're still 18. They'll believe it. You're in a 6-woman tag in WoW, and you get to pick a celebrity partner to go with the Bully Busters. Who's it going to be?
Cool.
Ronda Rousey? Okay. Well, the choice was...
What were the other options?
Maria Menounos. Ronda Rousey or Maria Menounos?
Oh, I love both of them, but I would have to say Ronda, because that would just be the shit. That would be so awesome.
Well, David McClain has to make that happen.
Yeah.
She's clearly a wrestling fan, and y'all both have a little MMA in you, so I think that can work.
Right.
Suggested reading material and or documentary?
Okay. Documentary.
Documentary.
Yes, I love it.
Bonus question, favorite or last one that you watched?
One on Banksy, the street artist.
Okay.
Was the last. I love street art. It's a big part of my culture. I'm from Los Angeles, and it's just something that I love. I love art, and that one was a cool one.
Well, we breezed right through the random questions, so it is now for the last one here. This is the one that usually catches people.
Okay.
It is fantasy booking. Because we know in pro wrestling, the booker has the power, and we want to see exactly what the worker would do if they had the power to pin on her side. You get to book your own angle. So what exactly, or whom exactly, would you be setting yourself up with in some sort of storyline and or match if you had the ability to do so?
Definitely, it would be the Bully Busters taking the belt from Caged Heat, because they've had it for a really long time, and I would love that. Especially for how they beat us down. That would be a really, really cool comeback story.
Oh, hey. All right. I like it. And you were very quick with that, too.
I'm quick. You like that? You like it?
I do. Most times they have to stop and think about it for a second. Even your own coworker, Erica Porter, had to stop and think about it when I put that in front of her. She had to, wow, that's a good question. But you were right on it. So there we have it. She ran through the interview, ran through random questions, ran through fantasy booking. Miss Rush is exactly that.
Exactly. There we go.
Living the gimmick 24 hours a day. Keta Rush. I hope I said it right this time.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Yes. Well, you busted me at the beginning, so I have to make sure that I get it in now. I certainly have to thank you for your time and effort in coming on here. I hope that you'll be willing to come back again. You're wonderful.
I would love to.
Very lively.
Thank you.
And I have to make sure that I keep some line of communication, send you the skit, and put on all the links to your Team Bully Buster outlets on our Facebook page. And I want to say it again, Team Bully Buster, Facebook, Twitter, website, teambullybuster.org, and Instagram. You can find her various social medias all under the same title, so it makes it very easy for you.
Right.
And you can find me or our group here, the Women's Pro Wrestling Network, on the YouTube channel. You can find the show at The Wrestling Show on iTunes. And, of course, Facebook, where a lot of this is going right now. So,
nice. I'm excited. Can't wait to post it. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on. You are wonderful, and we wish Team Bully Buster nothing but the best. And I think I speak for a lot of your fans to say that we are all looking forward to seeing the all-new Keta Rush on WOW.
The Bully Buster.
The Bully Buster. I guess you're going to have to fight your partner now. I don't know. I mean, the team
I know. I don't know how they're going to write that. We'll see.
Well, you know, that might be my task. We might have to split it.
Right.
I don't know. But thank you for coming on. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I will certainly send that stuff over to you post-haste.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And bye-bye, everybody.
Promotional consideration presented by the following. Get your nerd-themed mystery box delivered to your door once a month, every month, with Nerd Block. Outstanding gear, toys, and collectibles. Choose your nerd theme, get your package, open your block, and let the fun begin. Visit nerdblock.com and get started. That's nerdblock.com. Nerdblock.